And share my screen. Welcome everybody. Um, don't know. I'm just going to take this off for the time being because we're having trouble with the view. Um, all right, so welcome. Today we thought we'd do something really fun and start preparing for our best 2026. Um, there's so many things going on this year that are starting to open us up from an old way of being and an old way of things. We're moving into some new and energized energy. If you're into numerology, we'll talk about we're moving from a 9 year to a 1 year. In Chinese astrology, we're all talking, especially us horse people, are talking about the fact that we'll be moving into the fire horse year, which is awesome. So we're going to talk about that. But we're going to do a fire ceremony, which has just become near and dear to my heart. I do them all the time just to help us use some ceremony to transmute and transmit some different energies. So we're gonna moving from a 9 year to a 1 year. And a lot of you might already be really familiar with this in numerology, but if we took 2025 and you add the numbers together, 2 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9. And the 9 year is the end of a cycle. Things move in a 9 year cycle. And so we're moving out of this 9 year, which means there's just this kind of this resonance about knowing that we're about to move from the end of a cycle into a new cycle. And we're starting to shift and change. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, 2025 was kind of a year of just lots of ideas and lots of things coming in, but it didn't really move. It felt kind of sticky for me. And I don't know if it felt like that for you guys, but it's just a way, it's a time to have some patience and just know that there's some growth coming in that and being prepared then to move into this year of 2026, which is 2 plus 2 plus 6 equals 10, and then you take the 1 plus 0 and it changes to a 1. So that's a 1 energy. It's a new beginning of a new 9 year shift. And so in preparing for these new beginnings and moving into this new energy, and I don't know if y'all feel it, but I feel it. Just really looking forward to this new 1 year cycle signifies just such a powerful time for new beginnings, for leadership, for innovation, and setting new directions in our lives. Just letting go of that old 9 year cycle. It's like the energetic chi flow starts to move in our life, and it just starts to feel more balanced and flowing free, and we're just ready to move into this new one energy. So, what are some ways we can do that? Is utilizing ceremony. And so, we're going to do today, we're going to share a fire ceremony. They're really a powerful and beautiful way to just signify that I'm moving out of one energy into another. And I loved doing this. We did one for solstice with a lot of people and a great big fire outside, and it was just really powerful. So, what do we know about ceremony? I wrote about this in one of our last newsletters, but my teacher Alberto Villaldo, he is a medical anthropologist and a psychologist, and he did a lot of studying on the brain. And he talks about we have in our brain we have a reptilian brain, which is down in this area at the stem, but this limbic system, or sometimes called the mammalian brain, all mammals have that, and that fight or flight brain. It's the survival brain. It's what we need to get by. It's associated with a lot of memories, um, emotions, behaviors. It's a system that's deeply involved in just our basic emotional responses and survival. And we need that, of course, but humans have this neocortex, this blue area up at the top. And the neocortex is more aligned for, I guess we didn't finish writing this, but it's it's where creativity and moving up into a more evolved place. Um, it it's innovation, a higher order. It has a lot to do with language and reason and conscious thought. And so we would like to be living more in our neocortex if we can. But it's sometimes hard to make a shift. So, ceremony, according to Dr. Vialdo, is a way to shift from that mammalian brain into the neocortex, as is things like meditation or praying. And we can all feel it. We know when we're in that space of just kind of a higher order, moving ourselves to be living more often out of that neocortex and that limbic system. And so this fire ceremony is just a great way to do that and to symbolize letting go of the old and into the new. So creating fire ceremony, like I said, I do it quite often myself when I feel like I just need to have a ceremony around letting something go or even creating something new. Um, It's a way to just allow the fire to change and to shift those things that no longer serve us so we can move forward. And so, what we'll do, there's a picture here of all these candles because you can do it as simply as having a little tea light like this and using something like a toothpick or just a small stick that you can burn safely indoors. So, you can use a candle. If you have a fire outside, you can do a bigger stick or several sticks. And then we just take that, we take those intentions. So you might want to start thinking right now, what are some things that are no longer serving me from 2025 or even this whole 9-year cycle? Some ways of being, some emotional responses, some habits that I have, things that are in my life that just aren't serving me, maybe clutter and things like that that I need to clean up. But how can I blow that into that stick? And then put it in the fire and let it just let that fire transmute and transform it into just smoke rising up into the sky and into the stars to help me make a shift and help me move from that limbic brain into that neocortex and allow creativity and all of these new ideas and things to come in. What things might you want to let go of that you've been holding on to that just aren't serving you anymore? Um, and start thinking about that. And as we move into this space, and we'll open some sacred space so we can think about it. And in this case, we're going to do this virtually. So we're going to use our imagination. We're going to imagine we have one of these sticks. We're going to imagine the fire. I wish I would have gotten video from our fire the other night. It was a gorgeous fire. But as you start to think about all these things you're going to let go, what do you want 2026 to look like for you? And I would love to share. I just heard from Teal Swan just did a little thing on sometimes we don't really know what we want. We think we do, but maybe we don't. And she had a neat way of putting that out there for us to help decide what we want it to look like. She said, just imagine you go to bed, or maybe you actually do go to bed, but when you wake up in the morning, a big miracle has happened. Something magical and miraculous has happened in your life. What does it look like? What does it feel like? How is your life shifted when you wake up and there's a miracle that happened? And that can help point us to how we want to shift and what we want to do for what we want to plan for our lives in 2026. And it can also help us knowing that miraculous beautiful place in our world can actually help us to figure out what we want to let go of. If we know where we want to move, what things just aren't going to serve us to move forward into that space. So kind of start thinking about that. And as we get ready for burning this into the fire, and we start to set intention and we open sacred space. This can be anything for you, and there's no religion around this. It's just us, what it is that for us sets a sacred space. It can be prayer. It can be kind of a pre-ceremonial type energy. I have been studying and learning with the Andean shamanic traditions. The fire ceremony I went to the other day, I co-led with a Lakota person. So we like to open the four directions or the six directions, starting the south, the west, the north, the east, the earth, and the sky, just opening up those directions. My friend sang the direction songs, and they were so beautiful and so powerful. But for you, I'm going to try to bring faces back in here and see what we can do. There's some of you guys here. Um, just try to set these intentions. I'm going to open sacred space for us in the way that I learned through the Andean shamanic traditions. Um, in the South, in South America, they start with the direction of the South because of where they're located. So that's what I'm going to do. So if you'd just like to take a breath and just come into space, come into your own space. Let everything else go. Maybe even imagine opening space with your hands up above. If you're familiar with the chakras, the eighth chakra, which is as your soul, and just opening space around you. And you're safe within that space. It's your own space. Other people's ideas and opinions can just set outside of that space for a little bit. And some deep breaths, maybe taking some breathing out a little longer than you're breathing in. Just brings us into that parasympathetic state of our nervous system, helps us to settle. And I don't know how sound is going to be on Zoom, but I'm going to just winds of the south, Sachamama, serpent. Come, wrap your coils of light around us, you who are the symbol of healing in almost all traditions. Help us to heal in this physical life, our physical body, as we are on this earth and planet. And help us to walk in the beauty way. Help us to shed our skins, that which we no longer need, so we can move into the world in a more open, beautiful space, shedding that skin, walking in the beauty way. Awesome. Winds of the West. Great Oratongo. Jaguar, you who come into the night, you see the dark corners and recesses of all of my life, all of your life, all of the world, those things that are hard to look at. You shine your bright eyes and help us to move through those energies and transform and transmute so they no longer affect us. Aho, aho. Help us to walk in this world and the next with no enemies. Aho. Winds of the north. Siwa Conte, great hummingbird. Come into our world, come into our life. Show us how you fly all across the oceans on wings that aren't even meant to fly. Give us the courage to go on our epic journey. Ancient ones, ancestors, come. Show us the lessons that you learned from the past so that we don't have to relearn them. Come into our life and help us to only drink from the sweet nectars of life like you do. Aho. Winds of the east. Apuchin, eagle, condor, come, swoop down into our world and take us flying into the heights, onto the mountains, high up, and let us move into the space where we can see our greatest destiny, so we can see from above. Sometimes we get a little short-sighted. We see like mouse, little tiny pieces of life. Help us to see the big, big picture. Aho. Oh, hi. Hello. Pachamama, great Mother Earth. Come, be with us. And we want to thank you. We want to give you all of our thanks for supporting us on this planet, for always being there where we live. We are so grateful for you. And we are ready to move out of this time where we have used you up and to start living in peace and harmony with you and the rest of those who live on this planet, the stone people, the plant people, the animals, the winged, the furred, the four-legged, the two-legged, the finned, the creepy crawlers, and the microbes. We thank you for sharing this planet with us. Aho. Ah, grandmother, grandfather, all that is, Father Sky, grandmother Moon, Star Nations. Allah, thank you for always shining your light down upon us day and night. We can always see the light that helps us to know from where we came and from where we go again. Household. And if you just personally have anything you want to add, any prayers, anything that is special to you, just bring that into your special space right now at this moment. Ah, oh. And once again, imagining that stick in your hands, between your hands, imagining all those things that you've been coming up with, your intentions of what you're ready to release. Blow that into the stick between your hands. 3 times. Anything that's holding you back, anything that's keeping you from shedding that skin and moving forward into the life you're ready to live in 2026, blow that into that stick. And then one more time, just preparing and ready to move to the fire. This virtual fire we have here. When you're ready to move that, just throw it into the fire and let it transform and transmute into better energies, stronger energies, more productive energies. Just throw it into the fire. that which we no longer need. Mm. Seeing it move into smoke, into the ethers, up into the sky, transforming and transmuting that which we no longer need. And after it's all transformed and transmuted, just giving gratitude. Gratitude for fire, for helping us transform and transmute this energy. Gratitude for each other. Gratitude for the last cycle, the last 9 years, the last year that has helped us grow into who we are. And even when times have felt tough, they have pushed us into this time we are now. And we can look back and see how much it's been valuable. All the people in our lives, I'm so grateful for all of you that are here. Just imagining being grateful, gratitude toward everybody and everything, and for this moment where we have gotten rid of these things that no longer serve us. Mm, yeah, beautiful. And we're moving on out of the cycle, just moving on out. Yeah. And so the next part of this that it just seems to be a time right now, and I think anybody who follows any energies from any belief that is out there, any traditions, we really are moving out of a space, out of a time, maybe even out of a thousands of year cycle. But in the tradition of, I'm going to move this again, in a tradition of the Chinese medicine, and we are all really into the Chinese medicine here. We're bringing on the acupressure, but we're moving out of a wood snake time, the 2025, into the fire horse in 2026. This won't happen until February 17th, but there is this beautiful time right now when we can start to prepare. We've just done this fire ceremony that starts to help us prepare to move into 2026. And now we can start to move in from this wood snake to the fire horse time. So, what all can we do to start preparing? The wood snake has been this time of moving inward, focusing on shedding that skin, some internal cleansing, reflection, strategy, and more of a quiet transformation. Like I said, it's just felt a little sticky, a little squishy for me. There's been a lot of thoughts and ideas to start to create, but there just wasn't a lot of forward movement, a lot of fire. It was more internal and working on it. And so moving into 2026, this fire horse, this time when there's more momentum and more breakthrough and a time of really significant progress. We want to be prepared so that we're ready for this when this energy moves into our world. So, what things can we do to start preparing for the shift? Which again doesn't start till February 17th, but it's definitely a time for us to start making sure we're ready for that huge momentum when it comes. So, we want to start tidying up loose ends. Just things I look around. I keep a lot of notes and a lot of things on my desk and in notebooks, and I'm starting to go through notebooks and either doing those things or realizing I'm probably not going to do those things and throwing them away and moving through, cleaning up all these loose ends. I still have some Christmas presents that are sitting on my table that I need to ship out or drop off. All those little things, because those loose ends keep us from being able to move forward in a big light. Again, we're just shedding that old skin, allowing ourselves to become somebody new that we really want to move forward into these next period of our life, and just shedding that baggage that's held us in a smaller body, and both emotionally and physically and spiritually, we want to shed that skin. Cleaning out the clutter. Oh my gosh, I've started cleaning things and throwing away things that I thought that I would do or need at some point, and realizing probably is not going to happen. So I'm trying to work on cleaning things out. We might want to go through the pictures on our phones and start cleaning out some of that and some of the apps on our phones and some of the things on our computers, old files, and just cleaning out the clutter so we're open and free and ready to move forward. And just really preparing ourselves to be the person and that we want to be, so that we can bring what we really want in our lives into our life, so that that thing that we said, that miracle, that life we wake up to, we are prepared to move forward into that. And so I know that was kind of fast. Oops, I did not mean to stop sharing. um Not now. We're wanting to do a software update. um I am just going to move us back into a space. If anybody wants to just share anything that came up with them, any aha moments during this, or any thoughts you've had. Jesse.
It was really beautiful. Thank you, Kim. It was lovely. Um, it's so funny. I was making a few notes for this morning, and not really thinking so much about going from wood snake to fire horse, but more thinking about some things that I'm going to work on this year. And the biggest thing that came up for me was being in motion versus taking action, um, which is, now that I'm thinking about it and putting it together, that's pretty much exactly going from the wood snake to the fire horse. But I recently reread the book Atomic Habits, which is a great book. If nobody has read it, it's wonderful. But the a big thing in there is being in motion versus taking action. Are you preparing to do something, or are you actually doing something? Motion is important. It's the planning, the research, the legwork. It's something we have to do. But if we don't ever take any action, then we're not getting anywhere. The motion is not getting anywhere. It's just a continuous loop. So my biggest thing that I'm going to work on is not focusing so much on being in motion, on always doing something, but on taking action for the things that I want to achieve. So, yeah.
Oh, I love that. And yeah, it's so easy to do. Well, I will actually take action when it's all perfect and all the motion has got me there and I'm finally ready. And we never get ready. We just sometimes have to be that fire horse and jump into it. Um, I love that. And yeah, I have not read that book, so I'm gonna bring that up.
It's such a great book. I'll put the name of it in the chat here, but the book itself is wonderful, but it comes with all sorts of worksheets. If you buy the book, it has the worksheets in it. If you listen to it on Audible, you can do it online or you can just download them, and they're really helpful. Everyone should read it at least once.
All right, I'm gonna make that part of my preparing for the coming of the fire horse. Awesome. Bree, what'd you come up with? Any Whoops.
Okay. Okay. Sorry. I'm not very good
No
at
worries.
technology. Hello. Thank you for having us. That was beautiful. Um, I was surprised. I got a little bit emotional there when it kind of took me off guard. I didn't expect it. Mine was kind of goes a little, I guess it could tie into Jesse's just a little bit, but mine was fear of failure, um,
Mm.
of pulling myself back from pursuing things that I should more and, um, not like not doing something just because I'm afraid that I'm going to like fail at it and not like I've kind of kept my horizons a little bit more closed because I've been like afraid of failure or rejection or I'm like, oh, I'm not going to do good anyway, so might as well just not push myself a little bit further. And so that was what came to me was letting go of the fear of failure and just taking that jump and that leap and just having more confidence and believing in myself that something good can come if I just jump instead of holding myself back with it. So that's what came to mind and had me a
Oh,
little bit suddenly. It was really odd, but so
yeah,
it was
it's funny the things that come up, right? That we might
yeah,
not have even expected. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It took me off guard, but I'm glad that I recognized it because I didn't. I guess I've kind of knew that was there, but I didn't really accept that that's what was holding me back was that fear of failure or that fear of things not going as planned or rejection. So that was good that it came to my attention again, obviously full force because that was something I needed to acknowledge and let go of. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you for
yeah,
sharing that. That's and I think so many of us do that uh,
yeah,
on one level or another. Like, oh, people might not like this. Maybe I better not do that. And to
yeah,
just be able to accept our authenticity and the power of that, and it's so beautiful.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for letting me share. So.
Yeah. Hey, Kenneth, are you want to share anything? Oops. Are you able to? There should be three dots. I'm going to ask you to unmute, and that might help you find it. There you go.
I've done a lot of shedding in the last few years and getting out of that skin's good, and I'm looking forward to the fire hose.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you have done a lot of shedding. I know that. Just
And
knowing
I've found out a whole lot of that stuff I really didn't need it anyway.
you. Isn't that funny? We hold on and we hold on and we hold on and we go, whoa, that's silly.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good. I can see you moving forward into the fire horse.
yeah,
Yeah, and really thank you for joining us.
yeah.
Uh-huh. Hey, Nahani, are you there?
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. Beautiful slides, you guys. Um, yeah, kind of to go off a little bit of what Kenneth said, just finding getting rid of those old ways that we used to protect ourselves, that we didn't need or that no longer serve. Um, I think just kind of opening up more to what's coming, not only to ourselves, but to the planet. And like a lot of people in astrology have been saying, we're moving away from the times of the introvert into the extrovert. So I think that coincides well with Fire Horse coming in the Chinese zodiac and just kind of clearing out because the fire might do it for us if we don't.
Yeah, I like that. Like, better do it ourselves because we might not like what Fire Horse brings otherwise, right? Oh, and I like that too, becoming more extroverted because I think a lot of us in this work tend to be very introverted people and um, bringing that out. That's awesome. For me, something that came up is just an old way of holding on, and I've been hearing it in different things, asking another. I guess I've just been getting clips of Teal Swan because another thing that she suggested we do is um, take a moment and go back into our childhood and um, take a breath and imagine walking into your childhood home and your mother is there and she says to you, if there's anything you need to always remember, it's this, or anything that you need to know or carry with you, it's this. And what is it? And then I was a little surprised, and then go back and walk into your childhood home, and your father appears and says, if there's anything you need to know, anything you need to remember, always, it's this. And recognize those messages that maybe we've been carrying with us for a very, very long time. And so it really came to me when I went to blow into the fire that the things that I thought those messages were was that I need to take care of everybody and everything, that I need to carry it on my shoulders, that I am strong and I can carry it, and I don't want to burden everybody else, and that I threw that into the fire, and I'm going to cry because right then my phone lit up. And I have a call from the hospital in Rapid City, um, knowing that my mother is probably there. And so when I get off this, I'll be calling. But right at that moment that I threw that into the fire, that I don't have to carry everything, my phone lit up with that phone call. So that was big. So yeah, a little dramatic. Yeah. Anybody else have anything they want to share? These moments are really magical, and I know some of you will be watching this in the recording, and so I just really invite you to, even though it's a recording, really take this moment and allow it to help you make some shifts in your life that are positive moving forward. Um, when we think about our work in this world, if we're all animal body workers or doing anything, with horses, whatever it is, um, to just really embrace who you are within this. Yes, we need to learn the materials, and yes, you can do it. And really to trust that there's also this inner knowingness that brought you here that is a piece of your medicine, the piece that you bring forward into the world, and um, and trust that. Yeah, and that people will love it and horses will love it. Yeah. So moving forward, we have our next group Zoom. Honey just reminded us is Tuesday, January 20th, and wondering if anybody has any requests or ideas or thoughts that you would like us to focus on for that Zoom. And if you do, or if you're listening to this in a recording, feel free to send us an email, membership at schoolait.com, or any of the emails that you know. Feel free to send requests or ideas or thoughts. We're always looking to provide what you guys want. We have some really new and neat content coming up this week. You'll have an announcement here in the next day or so. Christine Walker spent a lot of time showing us how to use technology to do consent forms and session sheets and different ways that we can utilize technology. So we're so grateful that she spent the time to put that together. So you'll be seeing that here shortly. We're coming up with some really fun ideas for 2026 as well. We're talking about some challenges, so you'll probably see in the next month or two, we're going to do a challenge, like a 21 or 28-day muscle challenge. Just if you already know your muscles, it might be just a neat review. If you don't know them or you want to know them better, it'll be a fun challenge, and it's just a fun challenge for ourselves. We'll probably try to do something so that anybody that needs CE credits with NABCAM can get them. But we're going to start doing some challenges like that. That'll be fun. You'll just get a little bit of content every day that will be easy to consume and learn. Um, we also should have here early in 2026 Breathe and Believe, and a really neat mini course on breath work. And they'll be sharing that, and I'm so excited for that. Yeah, Jesse, Nahani, you have anything else you can think coming up?
Not at the moment. I know we do have some great contributors who are lined up to share some new courses that they'll be putting out, but they themselves are still doing that on their end. But as soon as that gets out, they'll be sharing with us.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to moving this forward in the fire year. And we spent the wood snake year just kind of building this membership, just putting pieces in place. And we're really excited to now move out in fire. Um, and we're still working on a location, time for the Mastery Intensive. We're starting to come up with some really good ideas, but we need to make sure that they're affordable and that will work for everybody. So we really do hope in the next couple months to have a plan and to put that out there. Again, if anybody has any requests, ideas, thoughts, on this intensive, please do share them with us at membership@schoolait.com. We did invite not only Mastery membership members to this, but our Discover, the Path Beyond members. So hopefully a bunch of you will be seeing this on a recording, and we're grateful for all of you. We love to share. So just we'll keep sharing things. We're kind of making some new plans for 2026 to share more materials through our YouTube channel and through the emails that you'll be getting. But if you are in the Discovery and watching this and you want to join Mastery through the end of the year, which I guess is tomorrow night at midnight, you can still get a $50 off. The coupon code is holiday. And I don't know if I can do this with, maybe I can. I'm going to try to put this in the chat. Um, if anybody needs this, I guess if you're watching this on a recording, you won't get it in the chat. You'll have to, I don't know if I can figure it out. um, I'm going to stop sharing for a minute and put into the chat the link to join. But yeah, we're going to have some really exciting stuff, and we'll keep sharing clips with the Discover members and moving from there. So anybody have any last minute thoughts, questions, ideas, requests that you'd like to share?
And just say, thanks for inviting us all to the ceremony and bringing up some good topics for everybody to kind of consider and ponder as we go into 2026.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you all for being part of this energy. I think it shifts the world. I think horses know when we're carrying all that baggage, when we're wandering around in a skin that's too tight. It helps us to be better practitioners, helps us to be better humans, helps us to be happier. Yeah. And and that is a thing too. Fire, I should say that too. Fire in the traditional Chinese medicine is joy. It's joy, and it's living with more joy in our lives. Um, and wood is related on a organ wise, it's stomach and spleen and it worry. There's a lot of worry. And I feel like we've all been living with a lot of worry in our lives and the churns in our stomachs. And it's time to shed that and let that go and move into joy, move into heart and pericardium and triple heater and small intestine and just let the joy out. Um, Again, I was listening to a interview. I believe it was Tim Ferriss, and he had three people that he really admired give some quick, simple tips on how to simplify your life. And Martha Beck's was my favorite, and she had a almost near-death experience when she was about in her late 20s. And she said what came out of that was if it doesn't bring her joy, she's going to get rid of it. And and she said she had to lose a lot. It was a very difficult transformation for her, but she said, so the way to simplify your life is if it brings you joy, do more of that. If it doesn't bring you joy, do less of that. And so I think it's a good tip. So fire brings that, horse brings that movement and that action, and the fire brings us joy when we do it. Yeah, what else do we have? Anything coming up for you guys?
Really, I just really appreciate you sharing that ceremony with us and doing that. Just feels good. It feels like things are able to move forward and move out of my body, my mind, and into the next phase. So thank you. And thank you, Bree and Kenneth, for being here, and Nahani. And I really enjoy being in your guys' space, even over a computer.
Yes, this virtual thing is great to bring closeness, and hopefully we'll be able to all have a huge fire ceremony together sometime this year. Yeah. Well, I thank you all for coming and being here, and just appreciate your time. Kenneth, I so appreciate you always showing up. It means a lot to have your energy. And Bree, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. That was
Yes,
wonderful. I appreciate it.
lovely. So glad you came. And for all of you who are going to watch this on a recording, thank you for your time and energy. And yeah, I'm glad.
Kim,
Hmm.
when I lost a lot of stuff, and the stuff that I had left, surprisingly, I gave a lot of it away because I found out I didn't need a lot of stuff, and
Wow,
it felt good.
I like that. Yeah, we always think we need so much, don't we? And it doesn't bring us joy. Yeah. All right, you guys, I'm going to stop recording. Doesn't mean